Great, good morning and welcome to iSlam Canadian. My name is Alexis Luco. I'm a professor of music in the School for Studies in Art and Culture here at Carleton. I'm joined this morning by my two colleagues, Michelle Hogue, Professor Michelle Hogue from History, and Professor Kate Higginson from English. And together we've been teaching in the ArtsOne cluster called I Am Canadian, or Am I? And so we have a wonderful program planned. Three fantastic performers have graciously agreed to be with us this morning to share their talents, to talk about Canadian identity, and to slam. So welcome, everybody.
My name is Michelle. I teach in the history department, and I just wanted to explain a little bit for those of you who aren't familiar with the ArtsOne program, what it is we've been up to this year, and to say a few words about that. For those of you who aren't familiar with ArtsOne, it's a program shepherded by Richard Nugent, who's in the back there, and Mandy Crespo, who made done a lot of work to make this event possible. And there's Mandy. We have more formal thank yous later, but let me just say that it's through their hard work that this cluster exists. And ArtsOne offers a series of learning communities for first-year students, in which students take pre-selected courses that are grouped in thematic by theme. And our students this year have taken classes in Canadian Studies, in Canadian History, and a seminar in Literature or Music. And the idea is to have them engage in conversations across these classes and to share the learning in their seminars, in their field trips, and in collaborating in events like this one, which we're very excited to do today. The idea is to bring students to have conversations that echo across these different classes, and to see how different events get and issues, big issues, anything from immigration to Aboriginal politics to gender politics, how they get refracted in history, politics, literature, and art. It's our great pleasure as instructors to be here. We've sort of done our best to put some of these pieces together, but we've really depended a lot on the goodwill of our students, who brought their intellectual curiosity, their willingness to engage in these diverse and sometimes difficult topics, and who really have been the ones who had to do the difficult work of pulling these disparate pieces together. And that's why we're here today, and that's why we're so excited to have these great performers today, to extend the conversations that we've begun in class, and to do so in a dynamic and exciting way. And I'm going to let my colleague Kate tell you a little bit about exactly what you'll be seeing.
Excellent. Thank you all for being here this morning, especially I know daylight savings makes it a little earlier for some of us who aren't morning people to be here, so welcome. When Michelle and Alexis and I got together about a year ago to think about this cluster, we knew what we wanted to do in terms of content and challenging ideas around Canadian and Indigenous issues, but we were wondering, part of the ArtsOne philosophy is to have a cumulative kind of capstone event. And we thought, what would be, what would engage with the issues, but would also be really dynamic and energetic and inspiring for us and for our students? And slam poetry came immediately to mind. It's a really popular, just full of life, from the heart genre, and it has a really neat characteristic in the sense that it's democratic and grassroots. So you get a sense, poets, anyone can choose to take the stage. It's not sort of an invitee-only, closed list kind of phenomenon. And the judges who judge the poets come randomly selected from the audience. It's a really participatory dynamic. So if you've been out to a slam, you know the audience lets the poets know what they think. The poets engage with the audience. And we're going to try and replicate that and give you a taste of that energy and that participation and that back and forth dialogue later when we do our slam. So we thought those facets of slam made it a perfect choice for ArtsOne this morning. It is also a nice way to fly in the face of what's become a little bit of an academic cliche. Some scholars have said in the last 20 years, well, oral poetry is a dead or a passé form. People aren't generally participating in it anymore, which, if If you've ever been to the Mercury on a Saturday night or to campus for Urban Slam on Friday, you know totally not true. The house will be packed, the audience will be sold out. And welcome Moshe, our third performer. This is awesome. Come on in. We're just getting started here. And Alicia. Thank you. Alicia. We'll get it right from the start here. So if you've ever been out to a slam in Ottawa on a Friday or a Saturday night, you know that the crowd loves it. There's a huge audience for this, and it is far from a dead medium. Ottawa is probably the hotbed in the country for slam poetry. We've got 2 really amazing slam series running here, and excellent teams have been produced out of that. And Carleton has a big connection here too. So one of the series, Urban Legends, is hosted here at Carleton. And also, if you look around the slam scene, a lot of Carleton grads, 2 of them in the house this morning, and Carleton students are participating. And it was through 2 of my students when I first came to Carleton 3 years ago and was a first-time lecturer. I had the blessing of having Brandon Wint and Sean O'Gorman, 2 great poets, in my class, and they slammed for the class, and they got me totally addicted to the genre, and so I owe them a debt for sure. I'm delighted to have 3 amazing, talented, gifted performers here today, wordsmiths. I'm going to let our students introduce them, but first, just to follow up on what Michelle said, our students have put this together. So they've been all out to slams in the fall. They've been picking favorite performers, writing about what they think. They've pulled together the publicity, the posters, all kinds of setup for this morning. So I wanted to start by saying a really warm welcome to our 3 performers, to all of our ArtsOne students, and I wanted to welcome Caitlin, our student MC, up to the stage. So,